afternoon, everybody. It's the Honest Faco here again. Hello. It's Emily Payne, and in a nice leopard print t-shirt. £1.50. Today's video. Now, I'll just say this. If you don't know me, I am a sex worker of long standing, and I give you the lowdown on sex work, real sex work, how it actually really is in the life of a real woman, not some old BS you see on the telly or in a film and all that, which is always rubbish. I've got a very itchy face today, as you might have noticed. I'll try not to be itching my face all the way through the video. So today's video, and please subscribe, like, share, all that. I get so excited when I say I've got a new subscriber and the channel's growing, and I really want it to grow. So please do that if you feel inclined. Now, today's video is about client types. It's the one in my series about client types. So this is about disabled clients. Now, I'm just lumping all disabled people in together. I get it, but there's nothing else I can do. Disabled clients, I don't mind a disabled client. In all different client types have got their pluses and minuses, okay? The minus is you've got to have sex with them. That's a big minus. But putting that aside, let's pretend that's not happening. Please, let's pretend that's not happening. Disabled clients can be a boon to the sex worker, an absolute boon. Let me explain why I think they're a boon. When disabled clients or otherwise, but when disabled clients book you, they try and book you, they will always tell you that they've got a disability. So they'll sometimes go into massive kind of clinical detail on what their disability is. Sometimes not, but they'll always tell you that they're disabled and kind of, do you mind seeing a disabled client? No, says I don't mind seeing a disabled client because, it depends on what that disability is. And I'll tell you some of the clients that I've seen with disabilities. They're very restricted physically. And that is a two thumbs up from the sex worker's point of view, because in that appointment, I'm entirely in charge. They can't move a lot of the time. Like I say, it depends on their disability, obviously. But I've seen a lot of clients who are completely paralysed from the neck down. I've seen quite a few. Some of them I've seen in, they'll have like a hospital bed set up at home. I'm not going into a hospital here. That's deranged. But they'll have a hospital bed at home and a carer, or sometimes they're just a mum who takes on the role as carer. Well, she's a mum. Or a carer. Now it's the carer, or in a couple of instances that their mum has rung to book, because they presumably can't. They're immobile. If you're paralysed from the neck down, you're going to spend your days like ringing people. So they've rung to book, or done the booking, and so you kind of know a little bit about their disability, but makes no odds to me. I'm not. You know what? I am not thrown by anything, and before I was even a sex worker, it takes a lot to throw me. I'll just walk into any old situation. The weirder the better. It doesn't throw me. In fact, I relish it. Most weird situations. It's like, when things are really normal and everybody's being dead normal, and it throws me. That throws me. Normality. So push me into any old situation. I will rise to the top of that situation. I'll tell you now. I've always been like that, and I feel more comfortable in weird situations. Go figure. Now, so I've seen clients who've got their own hospital bed set up at home, and the mum or the carer will bring you in, and here's Johnny or whatever his name is, and you just proceed, and you're just left with this client, and they'll tell you what they're capable of doing. All clients who have been paralysed from the neck down, their cock still works. They can still get hard. They still get hard on and come. Now, I'm no expert. Maybe obviously everyone's different. But the clients I've seen, paralysed from the neck down or the chest down or whatever, the cock still works. So whatever. And one of them, I do remember, he had this hospital bed set up. This was years ago, 15 years ago, probably more, when I was at the agency. And I remember just crawling around him on the bed because he was absolutely paralysed. And I just got up onto the hospital bed and was just kind of crawling around him in me bra and knickers, doing God knows what. And I've seen a client quite a few times who's in a wheelchair. There's one particular client in a wheelchair, and we used to go to some toilets because he lived with his mum and dad. He was still living with his mum and dad. He's about 30 or something. But he still lived with his mum and dad. So he used to nick out the house. He had this powered wheelchair, went wee all over the place. And we used to go out of the house to a public toilet, which I'm trying to keep, if I mention clients, I'm trying to keep them anonymous. So we used to go to a public toilet, which was like a clean public toilet. It was in an establishment. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a public toilet where weirdos loiter around, apart from us two. And I used to wank them off in there. And I used to have to buy a bottle of Oasis. I think this story's in the book. I think I've got it in my Sex is Hard Work memoir that is available on Amazon as we speak. I think it is. And get a bottle of Oasis because it's got a big opening at the top. If you picture a bottle of Oasis, it's got a big aperture, hasn't it, at the opening. Get his cock in there. Get his cock in there for when he came. It didn't used to take much, just a pinch wank. I invented the pinch wank. Well, I probably didn't invent the pinch wank because men have always had tiny little cocks. But the pinch wank is when there's not much cock to get a hold of. You can't get anything. It just takes a pinch. That is overkill. You know what I mean? Just need a pinch. So with him, it was just a pinch wank. Used to come really quick. Then we just used to, I used to drink the Oasis beforehand now, not once there was a load of spunk in it. And just bin it and come out, because it just looked like I was a carer going into some public toilets with my disabled client to have a piss. And I was wanking, I was doing a pinch wank. They didn't need to know that. It's our business. And haven't seen him for a long time now. Don't know what happened to him. Then he got his own bungalow, you see, and I used to go there. But yeah, the disabled client is, yes, it's easy. Because they can't do anything. They're very much restricted in what sexual activity you're going to do. A lot of the time, there's no actual sex. It's just hand job, blow job. I mean, you're all a bit restricted to the point where you think, well, what can we do? What do we do? I end up sort of just doing strip teases and floating myself about. Something to do, isn't it? Because there is quite a restriction on their movements. But it's a win-win situation. And I just think, although I think paying for sex is pathetic, and I do judge men who pay for sex, and women, in a very non-judgmental way, obviously. What are they supposed to do? You know what I mean? They're not going to go on the pull, are they? They're living in a hospital bed. A lot of these men that I've seen, they're young men. So what are they going to do? Really, they've got sexual urges. They're the same in every other way. They've got this disability, and like I say, it's literally they're not going to go on the pull. So what are they supposed to do? So I can see the point there of I can sort of feel a bit different about them paying for sex. But it is a grey area with me. The whole the sort of the hypocrisy and the moral aspect of paying for sex. I feel hypocritical because I'm selling it. Do you know what I mean? I'm encouraging it because I want the money. But yeah, I do judge it, and I do think it's creepy. So I'm conflicted, but this is what I'm trying to get over in the videos: the conflict It's not a simple black and white subject, because all the people involved, and from my point of view, all the women involved in sex are all different women. We've all got different backgrounds. We're whole people. We've had a life before sex work, and a life during, and a life after. We've all got a million other influences on why we do stuff and how we feel about stuff and how we behave. You see, so it's not black and white. This is what I'm trying to get over in these videos. It's a complicated subject. But yeah, as for disabled clients, yeah, bring them on. Thank you very much. Goodbye.